Time's up, I done touchdown. I'm high stepping for the touchdown. I stay repping for the slums where the young bucks started loaded up.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the AFC South Fan Battle Podcast. My name is Samantha Wernet. Joining us this evening for the Texans, we have Matt Briggs.
What it do?
For the Colts, we have Harish Nookala.
Carson Went will be back tomorrow.
For the Titans, we have Agent Ha. John Ha. Sorry, excuse me.
Mike Vrabel will not be back tomorrow.
And for the Jaguars, we have Justin Gunsaulus.
Gardner Minshew is not starting week 1. It's not happening. No.
Justin, since we're recording this, those of you that are listening to the podcast, at the time of this recording, it's Sunday night. So we're going to have a follow-up with what happens with the preseason game tomorrow, Monday. But by the time you guys hear this, it will be Wednesday. So Justin, why don't you go ahead and elaborate on that real quick?
Urban Meyer has stressed the fact that they have not named a starter in Jacksonville yet, and it's a open QB battle. And it's kind of ironic. I find it funny that you draft this quarterback, okay, to be the face of the franchise, but half the time he's getting reps with the twos when by week 3 he's going to be the starter or week 2 or whenever it is. I don't think it's going to go past week 4, but you would think you'd want some type of repetition or some type of rapport with the ones. But yeah, open QB competition, so they say, until it's not.
He fell in love with the mullet. Wants to give him a shot.
I mean, it sounds like it's just coach speak, right? It's just like creating a story. I mean, clearly we know Trevor Lawrence is going to start week 1, right? And also, as far as like reps, I mean, I'm really curious how what the ones are going to go, because there's only 3 weeks of preseason this year. Basically, preseason ends next week. So,
do you let Trevor Lawrence start week 1 though with that offensive line?
100%. You shouldn't, but you should.
No, you should. I think you should, because it worked for Justin Herbert. Okay, but it also worked for Josh Allen. You know what I mean? Both sides.
Justin Herbert didn't start till like week 7.
What I'm saying is both sides of it. Like,
was it?
You don't start in week 1. You don't start in week 1. Okay, but he came in after Tyrod got hurt, and boom, he's the guy, and it worked out. Right?
Forgot about that.
In Buffalo, Josh Allen started right away, and he had his troubles, but he worked through them, and now he's one of the best QBs in the league. So it's
Baker
worked both
Mayfield,
ways.
When Tyrod got hurt in Cleveland, Baker came in, did the same thing.
Baker's trash, though. I mean,
he had a good rookie season, though.
He did last year. He did his job. I mean, he was solid last year.
Yeah, didn't win a Super Bowl.
And
so did 31. Neither did 31 other quarterbacks.
You can say
I know, yeah, but long story short,
Trevor Lawrence hasn't won a Super Bowl.
Correct. But
he's trash. He's trash.
Yeah, terrible.
But I agree with Harish in the sense that it could be coach talk, yes, because a perfect example is Charles Nagy and the Bears. Fields isn't going to be the guy; it's going to be Dalton. Well, he started Mitchell Trubisky forever. How long? Then he brought Nick Foles in, and his coach talk was actually what he meant. So I don't think we know until it happens, but I think Trevor should start week 1.
Well, let's not give Matt Nagy any benefit. That dude's an idiot.
I know you're going to give us an update later, so we'll get to that update, but we'll see how that all plays out, and we'll see what happens tomorrow with the Jaguars. So, John, why don't you give us an update with the Titans? What's going on? I know everybody loves to hear what you have to say specifically.
Tell us how your 4 stringers are winning you the Super Bowl.
Hey, look, here's the thing. I'll start. I'll start with what I liked out of the game. Obviously, I like what I got out of these guys. Our defense, there's a lot of things to like. Sorry, my phone was going off.
It's all the hate mail you're already getting.
It probably is. I'm probably already getting attacked by Donnie. He's blowing me up. What Twitter? No, and then Sam Ficken for kicking. It's after a year of really, really inconsistent kicking. I know it was only 2 field goals, but a really long 50-yard or 58-yard field goal right down the center. That's fantastic. I love it. Again, it's preseason. Offensively, there's no starters starting. You're not really going to see a lot there. It is fun what we got to see. I like it. I like winning football games. That's great. But the most positive things came from the defense.
Blaine Gabbert gonna Blaine Gabbert. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
Oh my God!
Do you like winning football games that don't count, John?
I'll like winning football games when they do count. When they don't count, I like it. It's fun. I like seeing Elijah Molden looks like he has some real promise and versatility in the backfield. So that's a bright future, hopefully, from what we're seeing out of that.
Saw that great tackle he made on that third string wide receiver. Fantastic work.
Hey,
he's killing it out there, man.
I like it.
He's killing it out there.
I like it.
He's a beast.
Let's talk about your fourth stringers getting taunting penalties.
Because that's about all we can do right now.
And Coach Mike Vrabel got COVID, so he's going to be out for I don't know how long.
Was he vaccinated, John?
He is.
Didn't he say he would cut his own, off to go to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, and he hasn't done it yet, and leads me to say,
"What's going on, why are you winning the Super Bowl?"
I'm gonna be honest here. I would probably cut my dick off for the Jaguars to go to the Super Bowl.
Oh, I hope they win. So
I see what you did there.
I mean, I don't know if I'd cut my dick off. I mean, I'd give a ball.
Would you give up both of them?
Listen. I want a Super Bowl so bad. I also would cut off Mike Vrabel's dick for a Super Bowl.
Touche there, sir. Touche.
Oh man, that's good. That's golden. Love it. Well, John, do you have anything else to add?
We're
on to Chicago.
Hey, I have a question.
Dickless or not.
Go ahead, Justin.
After seeing Corey Davis go to the Jets and get, I think it was 10 targets from Zach Wilson, do you miss Corey Davis at all?
I really don't. I mean, when Julio Jones is what we replaced Corey Davis with, how am I supposed to miss Corey Davis?
Exactly.
Look, I think that Julio Jones did a lot to help Corey Davis on us, and even then, Corey Davis had yet to get a 1,000-yard receiving season. A.J. Brown did a lot up the middle, and Corey Davis was our deep threat guy. And again, he was fine. He was decent. I don't hate him. I think going to the Jets is usually a career killer. So I wish him well, but it's usually not the best thing for you to go to the Jets.
Yeah, it is. It sets him up for a long-term future.
At least he gets paid for it.
That's what I mean.
True.
Mediocre future.
Maybe it is what he. I don't know.
Well, we're gonna
on $80 million.
Hey, I like winning football games, but Corey Davis apparently doesn't.
Got him. Smoked him.
Damn.
Well, we're going to save the worst for last. So, Harish, give us Colts update.
They played a football game. The offense didn't score a lot of points. Neither did the defense. The defense stopped some people. The field goals kicked some field goals. And Carson Wentz is coming back to practice tomorrow, so nobody gives a shit. It was great. Good week.
He's coming back to practice, but is he going to be playing fully?
Yes. So the plan is to have, so there's 3 weeks to the season opener. Frank Reich will not let Carson play unless he has 2 full weeks of practice. So that basically gives this week and next week, get the off week, and then he should be ready to go week 1.
But didn't Carson Wentz want to come back like 2 weeks ago?
He wanted to come back last week.
Last week, okay.
Yeah. He was taking mental reps last week. So he's already technically been practicing, but he's actually.
I was too.
Yeah.
He was. He's actually going to start throwing and stuff tomorrow. So
there's
no
throwing stuff like throwing fits or what?
He's going to throw more white flags.
He's going to throw more white flags. He's going to throw probably some baseballs tomorrow, some tennis balls to rehab his not hurt shoulders. So yeah. So
but would he cut off his dick for a Super Bowl?
He probably doesn't need to because he already has a Super Bowl. So I don't know if he would do that. So
thanks to Nick Foles.
No, thanks to him, he has a Super Bowl. Nick Foles should thank him for putting him in a great position to win that Super Bowl. So anyway, yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. See, I can turn anything against anybody. It's easy.
We know you've been doing it for 3 seasons now without being able to back it up. It's great. I love it.
What's there not to back up?
Just everything that you say. It's great.
What do you mean? I've literally backed everything up I've said.
It's true. I thought Carson Wentz's 0 passing yards in the Super Bowl were very impactful.
Backing up and backpedaling are almost the same, I guess.
Well, I'm not a Titans fan, so I can't backpedal. It's not in my vocabulary.
Oh,
I'm kind of surprised you're not on the. Excuse me if I pronounce his name wrong. Quiddy Pay, like I wouldn't say bandwagon, but like he had a really good game.
No, he was real. You know who I was really impressed with was Ben Panic.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Vanagoo, very impressive yesterday. Rock Ya-Sin was impressive yesterday, especially in man coverage.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, look, if the edge rush is what I think it's going to be, the reason I'm probably not like so into the edge rush is because this is what I expect from the D line, right? I expect Quiddy Pay to do well. I expect Ben Vanagoo to do well. I expect Tyquan Lewis, and it's because the interior defensive linemen are so damn good, right? Like DeForest Buckner and Grover Stewart will ask for a lot of attention. So the edge rushers should be doing what they're doing. Like what we're seeing from them should not be shocking to anybody. Now, can they do it consistently? That's going to be the key. Last year that was not the case. If it is this year, this is going to be a top 3 to top 5 defense in the league, without a doubt. But it's all going to be dependent on the consistency of the edge. And if that can happen, it'll be a great defense. If not, then it'll probably be top 10.
All right. Well, speaking of quarterbacks showing up to practices, Matt.
Hold on, sorry.
There was just a.
I didn't know there was a bit going on.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, same thing with Harish. They showed up. Deshaun Watson didn't. Getting investigated by the FBI. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know why Jeff Driscoll is out there throwing the ball when Davis Mills should be, throwing majority of the passes because most likely he's going to be playing because Tyrod Taylor can't stay healthy. I will say this. I'm glad we have a new defensive scheme. No, we're not going to beat down no walls, but that Lovie Smith Tampa defense looks amazing other than Mike Vrabel's crappy don't bend, don't break defense. So, yeah. I'm ready for it. Harish's boy, Charles Minahu, if he can stay healthy, it looks pretty good. So,
listen, Texas players have been knocking it out in the NFL. Let's just give a shout out to all the Texas folk that are representing in the NFL. This just goes to show how shitty our coaches have been. It's never been the talent; it's been the coaching. So, shout out to all these guys.
Going back on that defensive scheme, though, in Chicago, it was a takeaway defense. We had 3 turnovers. Lonnie Johnson took one to the house. We were forcing a lot of sacks. Like I said earlier, Roy Lopez, rookie, he had another sack and 2 tackles for loss. So, looking good. And that's going to piss off our lovely diehard Texan fan, Chris Royal, because Chris Royal said he was going to cut week 1. So, good to see him wrong sometimes.
All the time, what?
Oh, you said it. Not me. But yeah, we won. Hey, we're gonna win all season. Woo!
17. Let's go.
Right.
So I have a quick bit. Okay, I would like to get the rest of the host's reaction to a tweet that was tweeted out about a day ago now. Okay, Adam Schefter retweeted this from Rivers McGowan, and the person that's talking is Spencer Tillman. And Spencer Tillman says, Nick Caserio's offseason, quotations, I don't think I've seen a better job by a GM in the last decade or more. Talking about how well Caserio handled the Texans offseason this season. Reaction, go.
Was he only hanging around Bill O'Brien in the last 10 years? Is that what it is?
I guess if you set the bar low, if you just, step over the
It's
bar
not
a little
hard to
bit.
beat. Yeah.
Yeah, you sound like you're going to the moon, right?
Yeah. The bar is not very hard to begin with, so it's not pretty much anything you do is going to be better than what the previous administration. There's a reason why the previous administration isn't there and you are. Like, so what you do, it's not hard to. Your first year, it's not hard to beat that bar, right?
Well, the expectations are low.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Now, as the expectation raises, and Casario's there 2, 3, 4 years down the road. What is this team
with the draft picks he gets? Then
let's see what it does with it. I think Casario's going to be a great GM for the Texans.
He's doing what he's supposed to.
His philosophy is what's going to drive him, right? So, are you building through the draft? Are you building through free agency?
I would give it to that Spencer guy. He's right. He's doing what he's supposed to. Signing a whole bunch of people to 1-year deals for cheap.
Yeah.
He's supposed to do that. So, but is it the greatest in the decade? Jeez, no.
Who would have in the decade?
He's doing is he's just putting names in spots like that. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing because the previous regime screwed him over, right? He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He doesn't have much room to maneuver. So 1-year deals to like guys that have been in the league 8, 9, 10 years and just kind of been floating is all he can really do.
Right. Yeah.
So he's not some genius because every GM that comes in for the first year does this for the most part.
He really reminds me of what Snyder did there in Seattle, but can he continue to do it? That's the question.
Yeah, well, Casario comes from that. He should do well. He comes from that Patriots tree where they're great at team building, right? So he should be fine.
And to answer your question,
there's a difference.
That's probably the best of the decade, John. Is
the Quinn Snyder?
No, is Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
And
whoever his GM is.
Probably Brent Beach from KC. He pretty great too. So
nice.
So,
Quinn Snyder wasn't too bad.
No.
Quinn Snyder, Seattle.
Yeah. When they didn't pick a punter over Russell Wilson, that was great.
That when they just completely overhauled that Seattle team in 2012 and everyone thought they were crazy and it turned them into the Legion of Boom and they get Russell Wilson. It's the only gap was Matt Flynn.
Instead of picking up a punter, they drafted Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
But what's interesting isn't Quinn Snyder still there?
Justin caught on.
So
I didn't catch on. Sorry.
We drafted Brian Anger instead of Russell Wilson.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Punter.
I knew what you were talking about, but Quinn Snyder's still there, right? So the continued success is where he struck. He had that immediate success for 4 or 5 years.
It's hard to sustain it. Yeah,
that's the thing. They haven't been terrible, but they haven't been great. That offensive line has been good in 4 years.
I think it's probably a 2-pony race in my opinion. It has to be the Steelers or the Patriots the past 10 years for sure.
You gotta give Brett Beats what he did.
Yeah.
But
that's been the last 4 years.
KC since 2013 has been consistently a playoff team.
Ever since they got rid of Glenn Dorsey. So
but that was when in 2013, 2014?
15.
Yeah,
since 2013, since Andy Reid showed up, they've been a consistent playoff team.
Yeah,
on the cusp, but now they got Brent Beach who took them to the Super Bowl, to the Promised Land.
How many GMs have lasted the decade? I don't know how many GMs have actually lasted the decade. Who's in New Orleans? I guess they've had pretty sustained success.
Mickey Loomis. So I guess Mickey Loomis. Now it's really Mickey Loomis.
I guess Green Bay has had the same people there for a while too.
Except for 2 years ago.
Yeah, they changed their GM because their old GM couldn't build a defense. their new GM can't build a defense. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same.
Or get Aaron Rodgers a receiver.
All they did was get 3 turnovers in the second half of the NFC Championship game that produced 0 points, but we're going to blame the Packers defense. All right.
I will give it though. I think if John Lynch continues to do what he's doing there in San Francisco, we're gonna have to put his name up there too, because he did turn that San Francisco team around.
Oh yeah, I mean those are the guys that are on the cusp. Though, like your John Lynch's, your Chris Ballards. Like those are the guys that are on the cusp. Chris Ballard just has to show it on the field, right? He's already proven that he can build a team. He just has to show it on the field. And that's kind of where Chris Ballard and Frank Reich are kind of in their tenures as coaches. They just got extensions, but if they don't win, if they don't start winning some games and start winning some titles and advancing the playoffs, they're not getting it. This is it for them. So, I wouldn't say they're hot seated, but there's definitely going to start being some added pressure to starting to win.
We will be right back with the Jaguars preseason game 2 update after a short break and a word from our sponsors. Okay, Justin, it is now Tuesday. And I promised the listeners that on Tuesday we would get an update from you. So how are you feeling now versus Sunday night? How are you feeling now on Tuesday after watching Monday night's game?
Overall, I think we can all agree that the team is in no sense of rhythm yet. And I just really think that the plan's not there, right? And I think it spawns from maybe a blend of the offensive systems is what we heard about on the broadcast, but I think it's more so Trevor Lawrence not being the heir apparent starter for the Jaguars. And I think that decision should have been made 2 weeks ago. The guy's the future. Why are you going to waste time? Why are you going to waste valuable time with this guy taking reps from the 2s and the 3s and giving those first team reps to Gardner Minshew when Gardner Minshew is not the future? You saw the success that the Jets had with Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson is the number 1 starter in New York, and he's gotten first team reps since he's been there. And you saw that success from taking those reps in the game they just played. And I think that, why is Trevor Lawrence throwing to Pharaoh Cooper and Tavon Austin when he should be throwing with Marvin Jones and DJ Chark 100% of the time? Right now, he's throwing 50% of the time because he's splitting it with Gardner Minshew. So overall, I think that replicated in the game.
Now, do you personally think that Urban Meyer coming out and saying that there was a bid for QB1, possibly, was it a smokescreen? Did they really not know? Does he maybe not have faith in the offensive line? Or is he just trying to make everybody happy? Or are they trying to sell Minshew to other people? Like, what do you think is the purpose of that?
I think a part of it is trying to sell him to get him to find a trade partner. But, I think we keep Gardner, at least for the tenure of his contract. We don't keep a 5th-year option with him, but I do think we keep him as a backup for his current contract, just because I think the guy can go out there and win 2 or 3 games for you. I don't think he can last a full season. I just don't think he's that type of quarterback. But was there something wrong with the offensive line? Yeah. You didn't have Cam Robinson starting. You didn't have Andrew Norwell starting. And you didn't have Linder starting. So, yeah, that's part of the problem too. They wanted to try out Walker Little, which I agree they should, because again, I think he is the future with having Cam Robinson on a 1-year deal. But the offensive line didn't look great. That there were flashes of good plays from like Ben Barch and also from Jawan Taylor. But for every good play, you could see a bad play. But in regards to Trevor, I was happy, overall that he looked confident, even though, the plays broke down and he, there was a couple of plays where I was extremely proud of him because the play didn't turn out like he wanted to, but I felt like he never got discouraged, and that's my opinion from it.
I did not, as a mother.
Mhm.
I know when a young man looks scared.
Right.
Not scared. I think, okay, let me rephrase that. In my opinion, there was one moment, I know they did a still of his head like leaning back. Then they showed him at one point and he's looking to the sidelines, like almost in like disgust. Not sure if that was towards him or towards the play calling.
No, I 100% agree. I think there is a issue with the offense and the scheme, right? Urban Meyer.
Everybody's calling for upper management. Even Jimmy Smith, our former wide receiver, has come out today saying it's how they're being managed, how they're the play calling. Like,
I think at this point, like, quit taking half measures, right, Urban? And this is to Urban, right? Quit taking half measures to do things. Like, it's your offense. Run the offense you want to run. Like, Bevel is really good. I mean, he won a Super Bowl with Russell Wilson, right? He's very good at coaching up quarterbacks. But this is how I feel about all of this, right? I just don't feel like Urban Meyer's confident enough to put a stamp of approval.
Hold on. Did you say competent or confident? Confident. Okay.
Yeah. Confident. Excuse me. And putting a stamp on this offense, because if it does fail, there's no one to blame but him, right? And Urban Meyer's never really failed at anywhere he's been. He's been successful. Utah, Florida, Ohio State. He's been Bowling Green. He's been extremely successful everywhere he's been. So for him to come to the NFL and fail and not have an excuse as to why that failed, I think that's affecting him a little bit. You saw him on the sideline.
We could say the same for Trevor Lawrence as well.
Yeah, but I mean, one relies on the other to be successful, right? And we can already see right now, we can call the giving reps to Gardner Minshew, not having a clear, starter going into the third week. And you saw it with this game. You can see that they kind of said, we screwed up by giving Trevor Lawrence almost the first half to play, right? To get him out there. And they need to play him, this coming week, they need to play him 2 quarters and let him get in rhythm with the offense, with the true offense. Marvin Jones, when DJ Chark gets back, throw the ball to DJ Chark, and yeah, they need to let him be the guy, right? Because it is affecting, I think, everyone at this point.
Well, and I mean, if you don't know if you're going to start, why would you? I mean, that's a tough one. Well, we have to move on to the elephant in the room.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it is. Go ahead and call it.
Yeah. It sucks, right? You never want to have a young guy.
Go ahead and tell everybody what happened for the people that don't know.
So during the game, Travis Etienne had one play. He came off the field. It seems like a airline foot fracture, I believe. Is how they're labeling it, and he is potentially out for the year due to that. It's
actually, I forget the exact pronunciation, but it's actually a type of sprain in the middle of the foot. It starts with an L,
right?
And I think
I
was actually looking it up earlier, and if you don't baby it, essentially the cartilage can completely collapse around it.
A Liz Frank injury, a serious Liz Frank injury is how they're labeling it. And it sucks because I felt like this guy could come in here and, make our offense, a track race against other offenses instead of some type of, stalemate, rushing the ball, getting 3 yards a carry and then, converting third down. I saw this guy coming in here and being literally like a Chris Rainey, Jeffrey Demps type of running back from the days of Florida, and just taking off and just getting 90, 80 yard, breaking it, finding the hole and taking it to the house for 80 yards. That's what I saw for this guy. And it sucks that he's not going to be able to do it this year, but hopes and prayers out to him for having a breakout season year 2.
Yeah. So sad to watch somebody's rookie year start and end just off of one play. And I mean, obviously we'll never know if there's underlying issues, right? Colts fans, there's a little foot injury there.
The footsies.
Little footsie injuries. We'll never know. Super sad to hear it. Still will never understand why we got him. I know he was the best player at the time. I'm the unbiased host. Let me stop. We're not talking as friends. I forget we're on a podcast. Anyways.
But I think he could have been there in the second round. I do agree with you on that I had him going in the second round and us taking him in the second round with that high pick. But we took that corner Tyson Campbell in the second round and pushed it up. And I think he would have been there, in all honesty. I really wanted Christian Barmore, that defensive tackle from Alabama, at that spot because it's a spot we needed. But hey, he's on a team. I'm happy he's here. I'm not happy that he's not going to play, but I will say, for the negative in that game, one of the positives was a former draft pick the previous year in the first round, Chason. Man, I thought he had a really good game. He had two really good defensive pressures, which one led to a sack, not by him, and then the other one led to a third down, a non-converted third down, which led to a punt. Both of those pressures were good, and I'm definitely happy when we get Josh Allen back and he's on the other side rushing the ball. So if I had to put my stamp of approval on someone that had the most improved game, it would definitely be Chase on at this point.
So what are you looking forward to going into next week?
I'm looking for a consistent offense instead of us trying to figure out our system. Our guys know our system. And this isn't like a Trevor thing, because there was one play that we had to call a timeout for those who watched the game. The play clock was dwindling, and you can see that Trevor was trying to get his receivers in the right spot. So he knows the scheme. He knows this, but this is more of a coaching thing to say, hey, this is the offense we're running. We're not going to run a pro style / West Coast offense. We're going to run the spread. And I think that's where he's going to be the most successful. And I think we need to go ahead and internally say, hey, Trevor's a starter. This is what we're doing, instead of all this mumbo jumbo in the media. Who's starting? I mean, the first time that the Jaguars were on ESPN talking about something was, is it going to be Trevor? Is it going to be Gardner, tonight in New Orleans?
They literally ended the game with that, just so you know. The same ESPN that boldly predicted that Tebow would make the 53-man roster was comparing highlights after the game last night.
Yeah, I mean, we all saw that CJ Beathard had a better outing last night than Gardner did, throwing that interception in the end zone. I just don't think that Gardner is the starter. I think he could be a good injury fill-in for a couple of weeks, but he's just not the guy. But overall, with the defense, to talk about the other side of the ball just real quick, I think Chason looked good. I think Dwayne Smoot looked great. I think that
agree.
Miles Jack, playing a little catch up, filling in that role, that inside linebacker role. And then CJ Henderson, man, I want you starting. You need to start, bud. You are that good. I think it showed. Shaq Griffin getting beat on the touchdown over the middle wasn't necessarily his fault. Tyson Campbell came over and essentially.
My thing with that is, did anybody expect to see Jameis Winston going out there and playing like that either? Like, you almost don't want to get people hurt in preseason, and he was sitting out there slinging that thing.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of
fighting for his job, I guess.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Marquez Callaway made two great plays. That catch in the end zone on the far left side against Shaq Griffin. It was like a one-handed catch that he did. It was a miraculous. It was a perfectly thrown ball, but it was even a better catch. Where it made Jameis Winston look, I won't say like Drew Brees-esque, but he looked like a quarterback that has been well coached. And we know the talent's there based off his time at Florida State. He just needs really good coaching, and he's getting it. So, I think he's submitted himself as the starter. So, but I think the secondary is going to be fine, right? Once they promote Andre Sisco to the starting free safety, right? I think we're going to be fine. It's just, the defense finding itself too, new scheme. I get it. It's going to come together in time. But I think and quote me on this, it's fine. It's going to be week 4 going into week 5 before I think our offense gets into rhythm of what kind of offense we're going to be in. And I know that may be 4 games too late, but that's when it's going to happen at this point.
Well, listen, next week, 53-man roster is due. We're going to know who's there, who isn't. I think Tuesday. Mm-hmm. I know we had the final cuts down to 80 today. So 53-man roster is due for all teams next Tuesday. And we shall see what happens. So Justin and Matt, if you guys want to talk about the big news, and then we'll go ahead and log off.
I like Justin run away with it. And
yeah.
All the heavy lifting stuff.
Right.
Blindsided. Go for it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, put me on the spot. Spotlight on me.
Time to flex on us. Flex on us.
So we
Don't
are.
get fined, though.
We're kind of expanding a little bit in the sense of where you can find us. We're going to open up a Discord tomorrow. That way, if you want a central location outside of Facebook where you can hop in and talk sports about the AFC South or just sports in general.
We'll get a 30-day ban for calling somebody an idiot.
Right. There are rules for the channels, but again, it's something that we can go that, it's another place where you can chat. And a lot of people use Discord. It's definitely a good place to, set aside time to chat about, sports related things. Okay. And the other thing that's coming is something I think we're all pretty stoked about is our website. Okay. That should be coming around lunchtime tomorrow. And the good thing about this stuff is that if you follow us on Twitch, and we're also going to try to find integration to where the link will be posted during the stream in the chat. So, if you're trying to figure out where the Discord is or the website, it'll be posted there. But long story short, we'll have a website. You can go to that page, download the podcast. We'll have articles going up live too. So you can be your one-stop shop for everything AFC South related.
Yeah. I like it. So good news. Sure. Yep. Well, guys, we thank you for tuning in once again to the AFC South Fan Battle podcast. Wrapping up week 2 of preseason. We hope you join us next Sunday night live for to recap this week and as well as talk about the upcoming week 3s as everybody starts getting cut and we start getting closer and closer to the 53-man roster. And should be a good time, but make sure you check our Facebook podcast page and inside the group for those Discord links. Join us on there because we know that Mark Zuckerberg doesn't like us to have fun, and we like to have fun. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Peace.